It's Pete from Cheap Homesteading, and today we're in the barnyard and we're going to be working on the fence a little bit. This barnyard project has been going on for years and I'm really putting the push on. You know, I had grand hopes of having my pasture done with hay and hay fields done and everything, but I really became obvious to me that I need to shrink down my grand plans into something more manageable, and this is what this is going to be. So the barnyard, we're going to try to put the fence up, get it up and finished. We're going to get an Amish style shed, an animal shelter Amish style shed here for the animals, and then we'll just buy hay. And then after that, I'm going to work on getting more sustainable hay on the property, but for now we are just going to start into this and do what we can with what we have. So this thing's been going on so long that I'm telling you, by this fall we are going to get animals. I'm just going to have to make it happen. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to keep working on the fence. As you see, I had a hard time putting posts in, so much rock, so we decided with the above ground fence I am going to have to do something to try to keep the goats in, because they can climb pretty good. So I'm going to have to try to figure that out. But this is pretty much my only option, is these rails. So I'm going to try to put page wire with it at some point. But for now, we are just going to be putting up the rail fence, at least the A-frame portions, get it secured, so I can kind of see what the barnyard's going to look like. Last year I rented a Hilti jackhammer and we put in these posts, and I'm pretty glad that we did. So we're going to actually have a normal style gate here. And then I'm going to tie in this above ground fence all the way around. And I got this up. It really does go up pretty quickly. I am kind of impressed. So we're going to continue on up through there, up, tie it into the barn, and then we're going to have to make some more going up into here. And right here, I think we're going to put the Amish style animal shelter this way. So it's going to kind of be part of the fence. And then I am going to just string fence all the way through there, because I'm able to pound in posts here. I just can't. As soon as I get down here, I run out of steam. There is rock and it's about 3 inches from the surface. So we'll have to make an above ground fence to go from here to about there. And then after that, the posts are in. So I think this is going to go really good. There is a ton of brush and weeds in there, so we're going to have to clear that before I get in there, because I don't want to fight with the ticks the whole time. And what I'm going to use is my Stihl FS76. I have one of those Echo brush blades on it, so we're going to go and clear this area. Hopefully that won't take too long. Man, it's amazing how quickly all this stuff grows up. I bush hogged in here, but I can't really bush hog very well going up the hill. And there's a lot of rock up there, so I don't want to be banging my bush hog off that any more than I have to. So we better start clearing it. My family has not farmed this property in years, so it is like starting from scratch in many ways. Because when I grew up, there was a barnyard and stuff, but over the years, you know, things rot. You don't keep it up because you don't have animals, and then you're basically starting from scratch. That is definitely something to think of when you're looking for a homestead. Is, man, if you want to have animals, having a fenced area, that is a lot of time and money that you don't have to put in. So now we can actually start on the fence. Checking for ticks. My gracious, I think that's pretty good though. So now I'm going to cut the A-frame pieces. If you were to do it, the most efficient way would be figuring out how many you need, cutting them all, and assembling them, and then putting them up. I am probably not the most efficient, but I don't know. I just been making them as I go, so that's what we're going to do. I only have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go, so I think we're just going to do it this way. Gee whiz. If I was smart, I would have made a jig for it. I've seen some people make some nice jigs, but I'm just going to keep struggling the way I've been struggling. I only got a few more to do anyways. So I put out the post on the ground about a foot from the end over there, and then basically close a foot kind of where it mounts on the V. So we are going to flatten this, flatten here, so we get it a little closer to the log itself. And then we're gonna nail that in place and then wire everything up, and then we've got one of these A-frames done, and we'll just keep going. I'm gonna put a few nails just to hold it together until I can wire it. Mainly, this fence is held together by wire. It's not really held together by the nails. You know what? This is the first time I put one of these fences up, and you kind of live and learn. I had a roll of tinsel wire in the barn, high tinsel wire, like it's pretty strong. It's really stiff wire. But the problem with that is it breaks easier. So when I go to try to tighten it up around the posts, it would end up breaking. So my buddy Marty said he had a roll of this wire in his barn, so he brought it for me, and I think it's going to work good. It'll at least give me a good idea of what kind of wire I need. It is pretty soft, but really once it's wrapped, this thing's never going to break. So I think this is going to work better. Fencing pliers on Amazon, and I was kind of worried about the handle thickness, but it really does seem to work. So I'm going to put the link in the description. Oh yeah, that's way better. Okay, so these are fencing pliers. It's got a hammer. It's got a place to grip the wire to turn it. It's a place to remove the fencing staples. You put the wire into this gap and it cuts it. I bought this off of Amazon, and I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to work good. And I was pleasantly surprised how well it worked. So I'll put the link in the description. It is kind of nice to know if a product will work. because it was relatively cheap. I think it was 20 bucks. The only thing that I worry about is this was pretty thin, but I haven't had any issue with it. They got a little stiff because I was cutting that really, really hard wire. I don't think it's meant to cut that, but otherwise it works really, really good. This is definitely working way, way better than the other wire. So I got the roughed in rail fence. It's there. There's a lot more rails to put on, but I got the A-frames up and 2 rails each installed. So it's kind of starting to give shape. So now I have to put the rail fence from the barn wall to the anchor post over there. So I'm thinking I only need 2 A-frames here, maybe 3. And then I was thinking maybe possibly I'll try to screw a cedar rail here and then just tie the rails to it or screw them to it. I don't know. So if you guys have any pictures or videos of that stuff, just send them my way. I'm going to do my best. I looked online. There's not much out there to show you how to install and make these things. As best as I can guess and best as I can see, this seems to be how it's done. But if you guys have any of these on your farm or your homestead, just send me the videos. So the main part of the frame is up. I got to go back and wire everything. That wire I got from Marty works perfect. So I'm gonna have to get more of that. That takes a lot of wire. So I'm gonna put my shed that way, which is almost gonna make it to the back part of the fence. So I don't know. I really only have to put 2 posts in here and bracing and page wire. And over here is the last part of the fence. So man, oh man, I got a lot done on the barnyard. There's a lot to do yet, but this is actually making me feel a little bit positive on the whole thing. So I'm thinking next weekend, if I can get in here and finish wiring up all the posts, I can finish the rail fence, and then I could try to pick up some page wire, and then we can try to string the page wire and try to somehow connect it with my rail fence, and then hopefully after that we can get the actual almost shed in here and get it tied into the fence, and then I think we are going to be doing good. So you know what, I'm going to keep plugging away at it. Going up. Last weekend I started the other side. This weekend I got this side done. I mean, it's not done. I need to put extra rails in and finish it up and wire it, but I feel like easily I can finish that next weekend, and then the weekend after we can try to put the page wire fence up, hang the gates, and then get that done before my holidays, and then we can actually try to get the Alma shed here, get some animals here. I want to get the mirror set up, what I'm doing before it gets too cold. I don't want to be doing this too late in the year. So that's about enough for today, and you guys have a good one.